So good morning. It is Wednesday, November 9, 2022, and this is to open council time. This, is the week of Veterans Day, and that is a proclamation that we had last time, and recognize on Friday that is the day for Veterans Day. The county will be closed at that time, by the way. But we would like to take a moment to recognize and thank those who have served our country and our county. In addition, this is the day after Election Day. And normally, I believe that I would say congratulations to X, Y, and Z, the individuals who are going to join pardon me, well, that's okay. It's not an insult, that's for sure. Councillor Medviji and myself on the council on January 1st. And I'm not going to be able to do that this morning for this one reason. There are, out of the 327,000 people who are registered to vote in Clark County, still 80,000 ballots that have not yet been counted. A bunch of those will be counted as of 5 p.m. tonight. So if we were to meet at 5, maybe by that time, we could say more definitively and with assurance who for sure will be on the council. But whomever it will be a very good council serving Clark County. And we can tell that by virtue of the campaigns that we have seen evolve. Public comment on any agenda item. Is there anyone in the hearing room, online, or on their telephones who wishes to give public comment on the council time agenda?
We do have one individual online. Caller, please go ahead with your comments.
Yes, as far as your, making a public comment on the old business, it says minutes for November 2nd. So I go over to November 2nd, made a copy, and the minutes I have copied here are for November 2nd, 2022, and it says under old business on this page that it's approval of minutes for October 26th. So how do we approve of the minutes that you have to approve the minutes? And then on the minutes itself, it says it's already been approved, the October 26th. So again, I do not want to approve October 26th because you folks illegally trespassed me with a criminal trespass letter. And I am going to take action on that. I believe you took my First Amendment rights away, and you are discriminating me as a citizen of Clark County, Washington, USA, where I was born and raised. You're continuing a chaotic form of government, and you must be held accountable, and we will do so. So it says that the chair Barrowman requested a change in language at the end of the meeting, at the end of the minutes, referring to the adjournment of the council time meeting, moved by Councillor Medvigi, and to approve minutes for October 26th as amended. So you guys are just doing your little thing. You think nobody's watching, and there are a few watching, and we're going to keep watching. And you're all comfortable now, but there's going to be that day of judgment, and it will come. You have taken my rights away, and I resent that, and I want to come back into that building and present myself in assembly of my own self. As far as the my comments here, make sure that the people have fireworks for this next 4th of July 2023 celebration of freedom, as these past 2 years have been discriminating against one of our great historical celebrations of God-loving, family, and country-loving citizens in Clark County. I really resented you guys taking away my right to celebrate freedom with assembly of millions of other people. I really resented that. It is very clear to me that, and and I want Clark County citizens to be made aware of this tyrannical council's actions. At all times, you're the Clark County Council, and you are also the Board of Health. That is not right, in my opinion, and we need to wake up the people off of Zoom for the last 2 years, frankly. So that's what I'm about to do. You guys are trying to stop me from doing my First Amendment rights as my duty. I took an oath on my 18th birthday there at the Vancouver Barracks. And by God, it says I must protect America against foreign and domestic.
Are there others who are wishing to testify?
No, Chair. There's no one else.
And the last caller did not identify herself. I believe I can tell who that was based on an email that she had sent earlier. So I will do that for our notes unless you happen to know. Staff. So I will do that for our notes at a later time. Old business. This is just for approval of the minutes of November 2nd. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved, and I'll take the second one as a second. Are there any comments or changes? Edits? Hearing none, the minutes stand approved as drafted. Thank you. Jail update. County Manager Kathleen Otto.
Morning, Council. So just a quick update. Amber and the jail leadership team continue to meet with the Sheriff's Office leadership team regarding the transition. It's my understanding that the staffing portion, including the corrections deputies and the support staff, have been solidified. We're working on an amendment to the 2023 budget for Council's consideration as we move forward with that. A couple of the outstanding items that they're going through right now is determining logistics, equipment, and some of the contracts that we have. Some of those might be completed before the end of the year, but there will be some that will continue into 2023. And unless Amber has anything else to add, I think that's all for the update this morning.
No update from me. Thank you.
Questions from council? Thank you. New business, a Native American Heritage Month proclamation for later this month. Kathleen?
Yes, so Councilor Mebaji, I know he's not with us this morning, but he did ask to have a draft proclamation brought before Council on Native American Heritage Month for the month of November. We have one additional meeting next Tuesday night in which this could be on the agenda. I will say Lindsay did share this with the Cowlitz tribe to get their feedback. We have not received that feedback yet. And when we do, I can certainly forward that on to the council. But we're more than happy to take feedback right now or any suggested changes or any other input on this proposed proclamation.
And if you by chance don't hear that feedback this morning, I'd be happy to call them. They probably just didn't see your email.
And I would agree with Councilor with Chair Bowerman. I think I'm fine with it the way that it is. I'd be curious to get feedback from the Cowlitz tribe, though, if they've got any additional thoughts that we might want to incorporate.
I would agree with both of you.
So when we receive the feedback, we'll put in any suggested edits that they may include and send that out to the council. And then I would just ask not to vote, but if you have any other suggested edits, to individually email me prior to Tuesday. If we don't hear anything, we'll go ahead and, well, if we hear that this is fine, this will be on Tuesday's agenda. If we have those edits, I will send those over and have give you guys 24 hours or so to respond back so we can get that posted.
Anything else on that, council? Okay, 3.2 under new business, a request for an interim ordinance to allow the sale of fireworks between December 27 and December 31.
Yes, so we did receive a request from Jake's Fireworks to do an interim ordinance for allowing the sale of fireworks, as you mentioned, Chair, on December 27th through December 31st. This type of interim ordinance will require a 10 days notice for a public hearing. I will remind council that we did do this as Jake's Fireworks put in their letter last year, but the reason why it was done last year is because the sale of fireworks was not permitted during the 4th of July that year due to our dry weather. So it was an unusual year where we didn't have fireworks or sale, and that was why it was put before council in December. Historically, we have not done this in the past, and if you have any specific questions, I do have Dan Young, our fire marshal, on as well. But this is just to get council's guidance and direction if this is something that you're interested in, and if so, then we would post the public hearing notice for the December 6th hearing.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Counselor.
So I think, to Kathleen's point, we did this last year specifically because of the fire hazards during the summer and the fact that there were no fireworks sales during the summer. So that was an unusual situation. I think this is a bad process, whether it's fireworks or anything else, to do an interim ordinance, 6 weeks or 8 weeks before. Anyway, so everybody knows how I feel about fireworks, but generally I think this is not a really good process, and it's something that we've never done before. So I would hope that we don't do this. We already have a week's worth of fireworks sales. We're the longest in the county. Most everybody else only allows a few days. We allow a week. So I just don't see need for it for this year.
Dan Young, is there anything you wish to add?
Good morning, Chair. Dan Young, Clark County Fire Marshal. One of the things is in this letter, they did say that, we've done it in the past, but as Kathleen brought up, it was just the year that we, due to our metrics, we changed the rules and we banned sales. Throughout the county, just to give some information, Camas allows sales December, so does La Center. And Yakult, Woodland and Ridgefield do not allow sales. So it's a wide variety across the county of whether people sell or not. I'd say it's probably split in the middle. So, our ordinance does say that we do not sell them this time of year. So.
And the RCW that is quoted at the bottom of the letter from Greg McCandless, do you find that as accurate, I presume, and applicable to us?
Yes, that's the state law. As state law, we can restrict from that, which we have, in the past. And there's only been one incidence that we have allowed sales of fireworks in December, and that was due to banning the fireworks 2 years ago.
Any other counselors wish to address this?
Excuse me, Chair Bowerman, this is Leslie Lopez. I just wanted to make one clarification on the letter. While the language at the bottom with the RCW is correct, it does cite 77.77.395. It's actually 70.77.395, but the quote is accurate. Just wanted to make sure it was noted.
Madam Chair?
That's why it didn't pop up, Leslie Lopez, when I did a search. Counselor Rylander.
So if I understand correctly, the question is, does this move forward so there's public notice to take public hearing and hear public testimony or not? And I would err on the side of giving the public the opportunity to testify. And I'll just be a little provincial. Obviously, a number of cities in North Clark County do allow the sale of some fireworks during this time. And I would just want to make sure, representing District 5 at this point, that District 5 is the opportunity to be heard.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Counselor Olson.
So our current code does not allow for fireworks to be sold on December 31st. If that's something that the council wants to do, from a process perspective, there's no real good reason that we would do this right now. Last year we did it because we had a good reason to do it. There's no good reason for us to change our code right now because a fireworks supplier wants us to. If the council wants to change our code, then we should go through that process and change our code, not do one-off interim ordinances to satisfy a fireworks seller. I just think this is not the appropriate process for this conversation.
Other comments from councilors?
Chair?
Yes, Councilor Lenz.
Thank you. I agree with Councilor Olson. I think that this is not good process, regardless of the opinion about fireworks in general. Doing one-off like this for the benefit of a single fireworks distributor isn't necessarily a process that I could support going forward with. So I'd like to see it not go to hearing.
And I believe we've heard from all of the counselors at this point. I think we should have, Kathleen, is it correct, a thumbs up on whether or not to take it to hearing?
Yes, I will need to receive the council's direction on if you want to move this to a hearing.
And I believe the vote is probably clear, but those who wish to take it to hearing, please do a thumbs up. And those who wish for it not to go to hearing, thumbs up or thumbs down. Why don't you do a thumbs down? Okay. And it is 2-2. So that would mean that it does not go forward.
That would be correct. Thank you.
Councilor reports.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Councilor Rylander.
Just a couple of updates. I had the opportunity to attend the ceremony for the Veterans Parade, and Councilor Lentz put on a great show, great organization, nice reception. I went down and stood at the corner where the parade actually began, so I got to stand on the corner and watch all 70-plus groups work their way through for almost an hour. The weather cooperated. It was a bit chilly, but it didn't rain, and that's because I had my umbrella with me. So anyway, I had a great time. We were out at last week at the Cedars ribbon cutting, and that was a good group of attendants. They had a little walking tour afterwards for those who were interested. Mr. Jolma brought his 2 grandsons out and helped him cut the ribbon, so their picture will be in posterity. So that went well, thanks to Rocky and all of his team. I went over last Friday and visited the new Vancouver Clinic facility. I happen to be a member of the Vancouver Clinic, so having great facilities is good for the future. Anyway, state of the art. Had a chance to roam through the 3 floors. Again, I know that Councilor Lentz was there as well. She may have some comments, but it looks like it's a great new facility, brings some needed services. And just a final side note, we had our ECHO meeting yesterday. Councilor Meviji wasn't able to attend. We had a good discussion, and one of the suggestions that came out of this was to find someone from the city of Portland to come speak to the ECHO group and talk about their more definitive plans for their future tent cities and understand how that might impact Clark County. And the other thing of interest at the next meeting in December will be the feedback from Lindsay on the parcels that might be usable within the county for the safe facilities as well. Those are my updates. Thank you.
Any further comments? Okay. Work session requests, I understand there are none. And Lindsay Hure, for whom have you done some policy work this last week?
Lindsay is not available this morning.
Okay. Then we will move into executive session. We actually have 2 such sessions this morning, one of 20 minutes per RCW 42.30.110, Section 1G, and another of 15 minutes that deals with potential litigation, the same basic number, but then section I. That it would be 35 minutes. It is 9:59. Let's look at 10:40 to return to council time.
Hello, the council's extending their executive session for another 20 minutes and will be returning at 11. Thank you. Hello, the council's extending their executive session for 15 minutes and will be returning at 11:15. Thank you.
This is today, Wednesday, November 9. We have been in council time. We took a recess for 2 executive sessions. Council was present for both of those, and they are completed. So we are out of recess, back into council time for the singular purpose of adjournment. So this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, and again, happy Veterans Day.